showed a blank page and said, no point in showing the new Volkswagen, it still looks the same. And of course, that negative was a big fat positive. And I did a lot of things to that car. I showed it very dirty. I showed damaged Volkswagens when we were talking about the availability of spare parts. Not severely damaged, but a good dent. And nobody had ever seen a dent in a car ad.
And it was something that Julian understood from the beginning, that this was an ugly little or sweet little bug, and it was a Beetle. You know, from the moment the first ad ran, you know, all my Jewish friends ran out and bought Volkswagen. I mean, it was appalling. Yeah.
I'm actually, Snavely, being of sound mind and body, do hereby bequeath the following. To my wife, Rose, who spent money like there was no tomorrow, I leave $100 and a calendar. Finally, to my nephew, Harold, who oft-times said, a penny saved is a penny earned, and who also oft-times said, gee, Uncle Max, it sure pays to own a Volkswagen. I leave my entire fortune of $100 billion.
Even the car's age was changed, effectively obscuring its Nazi origins.
Well, we once did an ad. We sold 2 Volkswagens in 1949. It just seemed like a good time. It was an arbitrary date, really. They probably produced 300 the year before and 200 the year before that.
Knocking 10 years or so off its age had completed the car's transformation from a symbol of National Socialism into the epitome of lovability. It was picked for stardom by Walt Disney. The producer of the first Herbie film, The Love Bug, recalled VW's nervousness as follows. The Volkswagen people didn't like to see their cars falling apart or turning over. So every little while, they would come by the studio and drop off lawyers like they were paratroopers, saying cease and desist. Nor did success in export markets stop Volkswagen being jumpy about the Beatles' past. Teresa Kramer's mother was brought from Poland to work at the factory during the war.
Meine Mutter musste an eine Bohrmaschine arbeiten. Irgendwann ist der Bohrer abgebrochen. Da ist der Meister gekommen und hat behauptet, das wäre Sabotage. Sie kam in diesen Todeskeller. Sie wurde auch kahl rasiert am Kopf und hat praktisch auf ihren Tod gewartet. Sie hatte großes Glück, dass das eben halt schon fast zu Ende des Krieges war und ist durch die Amerikaner befreit worden. Ich habe mich persönlich um eine Entschädigung bemüht und das war schon in den 60er Jahren, als meine Mutter noch lebte. Aber leider hatte ich damit keinen Erfolg. Eines Tages ist sie aufgefordert worden, zu kommen und den Ausweis mitzubringen. Und dieser Werksausweis ist hier abgenommen worden. Und auch kurze Zeit später haben wir einen Brief bekommen, in dem stand, dass es eine Frau Anna Kędzierska im Volkswagenwerk niemals gegeben hat.
Zapomnieć natomiast nie można o grobach, które tutaj zostały, o grobach, w których leżą nasze koleżanki, nasi koledzy i dzieci naszych koleżanek. To jest sprawa, która rodzi ból jeszcze dzisiaj. Tego już nikt nie jest w stanie naprawić.
Unconscious of the irony, the Love, Peace and Flower Power people could adopt the Beetle as their official car. And a decade later, Volkswagen was able to end Beetle production in Europe with the slogan, "Es hat Spaß gemacht." It's been fun. The bug had invaded every aspect of modern life.
You know, I think if you ask, name the one ad campaign in the history of advertising that created a new popular culture, and that did it when against seemingly incredible odds, impervious odds, such as selling the car designed and produced by people who had killed 6 million Jews and 2 million Greeks and 12 million Russians, etc., people who had who almost ruined, destroyed the earth. It's unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable that there was a way that advertising somehow just leapfrogged that any kind of a problem. You know, you can look back and say, well, maybe it wasn't a problem. It was a problem. It was a problem. So I think when you talk about an icon, that's you know, one of the great icons in the history of advertising for that reason. It changed maybe the face of the world.